Hey there. I was contacted by Rob, and Rob said you need to try out a Schaefer 100. And I said, yes, I know. I want to buy one every time, and then something interferes, and, you know, it happens. And he said, you know what? I'll give you one. Isn't that cool? Yes, that is cool. So, thank you, Rob. Thank you for getting me a Schaefer 100. No, I'm not going to throw that away. Don't worry. I'm just taking out the pen. You got the pen. It's there. You got a bunch of finishes. I picked this one. This is one of those boxes that has a little lid that you can take out. You get your Sheaffer use and care guide with a 1-year warranty in Arab, among other languages. Arabic. Arab. Yes. Well, anyway, you get 2 cartridges, black and blue. I like that. And of course, you get the pen. I chose the chrome finish. I like that. I like this sort of industrial look. I got a couple of pens like this, and maybe I should do a shootout with this type of chrome pen at some point. The Schaefer 100, I have reviewed the 300. I thought there was also a 200, and this is the model 100. And that's what we're going to look at today. Cover the parts of the pen, tell what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then do a writing sample. Alright, let's start on top of the cap, the very top of the cap. Nice, reflective, mirror finish. I like that. And we get the clip. The clip has the white dot, Schaefer's trademark, on there. That's the springiness. It's very stiff, but it works well. There's ink on my little finger. I've just noticed that. Very strange. Sometimes I don't even know where this ink comes from. I haven't used a color like that for a while, so there must be ink here somewhere. Well, it doesn't really matter. The cap, nice brushed steel. I look at that nice texture. It's very, very cool. I really like the way that looks. What's also very nice is that Rob got this from mrpen.co.uk, which also does engraving, and Rob was kind enough to put my initials and name on there, which I think is very, very cool. Alright, then we have the center band, which says Schaefer, 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 so I think it's a Schaefer, I'm not absolutely sure. Then you get the barrel, which has that same super cool brush texture to it. And then at the end, another highly reflective knob. That's actually the lens of my webcam you're seeing. Alright, uncap it, and you get a metal section. Nice. It's a bit fatter than you might expect, because if you look at this, it all looks fairly tapered, right? And then the section actually is pretty stubby, and I like that. Shiny metal. I like the way it looks. Although it's shiny, it's not. I don't find it slippery or anything. It's just pleasant to hold. Then we have the nib. I haven't actually compared the two, but it looks like the same nib that's on the 300. As I said, I haven't tried that, so don't hold it against me. It has some scroll work. It says Sheaffer. It says M for medium. I think these come in fine or medium. And you know, I like broader nibs, so I'm very happy this is a medium. If it is indeed a Schaefer 300 nib, you can remove the nib from the 300. I have a broad on there, so I may be able to, because it looks like the same feed too. I may be, it's ink now. I don't want to pull this out, but they are friction fit, so I'm going to run a test on that, and I'll probably report back on that later. You unscrew the barrel, and you have the nice little Schaefer converter, which looks like this. Schaefer, as you may or may not know, has these flat end converters and cartridges. There is no nipple sticking out or anything. And the good thing about that is that you get that a little nipple sticking out from the back end of the section, and you just put the converter on there, and it's very secure. So that's actually quite nice. Alright, what about that nib? It's smooth. It's not the smoothest I've ever used, but it's definitely not bad. Pen size looks good to me. If you want to, you can post it. Post nicely and securely, and well, that's pretty much all there is to it. Okay, so the weight of the pen, this is inked up. It comes in at a good 30 grams, maybe a little bit over that. What do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Well, there isn't a whole lot I don't like about it. I like the looks of the pen. I like the way it handles. It's a little top heavy when you post it, but it's also a little top heavy when you don't, because it's just a lot of metal on the barrel. But it's nice and hefty. It has some weight to it. Not the heaviest pen I've ever used, but nice and decent weight. Works well, converter supplied, that's all very cool. You get your ink cartridges, I like that. If the nibs are swappable to 300, then I think that would be very cool, because that gives you some more options, like broad. Things I don't like, well, there's actually just one thing that springs to mind, and that is that the clip is very tight. I always like to have a bit more spring than this. I really have to exert force to make it do this, and that makes it a bit hard to put it in a pen pouch or a shirt pocket. But apart from that, I honestly think it's a pretty nice, well-made pen, and that is why Rob wanted me to review it, because he said I really like it too. And this is the reason. Performs well, writes well, gives a bit of feedback as you write, but you'll see that in the sample. And that's all there's to it. So let's just take some measurements. Capped, we're talking about a well, it's 140 millimeters exactly. Interesting. Then we have lack of fine motor skills. Okay. Uncapped, 120 exactly. That's really cool. I've never seen such round numbers in these pen sizes. Okay, at the narrowest part of the barrel, sorry, the section all the way on top, it's 9 millimeters. All the way down the barrel where it meets the barrel, it's 10, and somewhere in the middle, it's 10 too. So it's definitely a fatter section, which, as I said, I found that interesting. I expected more of a taper, and it wasn't there. All right, so there you have it. I think we need to see the pen in action. That's what we're going to do next, writing sample. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Alright, so here we go with the very nice Schaefer 100. And what we have here is the Schaefer 100 with a medium nib. The ink is Rohrer und Klingner Altgoldgrün. And let's do some writing. How about that? Write smoothly, nicely. Let's do a bit of fast writing, see what happens. It may not be legible. What I do not see is any skipping. Very nice nib. Feed keeps up well with the ink flow. The nib is fairly smooth. I do feel a bit of feedback, especially on these upstrokes. It's nothing too unpleasant. I wouldn't call it scratchy. It's just some feedback. Okay, speaking of wetness, as you can see, this nib lays down a nice even patch of ink, quite wet. So that's nice. I like that. And then we should have a look at some line variation. It is a steel nib. Can give a little bit of line variation, nothing too excessive, but it's nice. And then finally I'd like to do some reverse writing. A much finer line. So by reverse writing I mean turning the nib upside down. But it is very smooth. Well, it is smooth. It's not as smooth as using it the right way up, but it is not as scratchy as some nibs are. And, well, there you have it. The Schaefer 100. Thanks to Rob for sending me one. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.